Welcome back. We are the Critic Court. My name is Jordy. I am joined today by my esteemed panelists, Eric and Malcolm. We are here
Howdy.
to talk Jujutsu Kaisen Zero, the movie, based on the manga, also based on the anime series. This is a prequel to the anime series. This is one that Toke is very, very passionate about and loves with all his heart. And this is one that he got Eric hooked on and he
Yes,
loves.
sir.
I like the series kind of, and I will say I do love the movie. I think the movie is a step up. I think it's more concise, a little bit more straightforward, and I think it benefits strongly from that. But we're not here to talk here about my thoughts on this because truth be told, I'm not huge into anime, so it's really hard for me to review this kind of stuff. So I'm gonna hand this over to the guy with the mostest on his thoughts and opinions of anything when it comes to anime. My good buddy Toke.
How you doing, guys? I just want to say I got this boy on in the background. You see it? He's there reminiscing. It's been out for months now. Just reminiscing. But yeah, man, Jujutsu Kaisen. It's so beautiful. The art, the fight action scenes, even the series itself was clean. It's just beginning. I'm mad they're taking this long to start up the next season, but we're not gonna go into
We're
that.
talking the movie here today, people.
Yeah, the movie,
Yeah,
Jujutsu
because
Kaisen
otherwise
is.
Jordy's gonna be a hater.
Yeah. He's a fan of this one, the movie, which it showed a different perspective. Like I said, it was the prequel. It showed before uh the school actually got really popular. Goju being the student hunter he is, looking for people to attend the school.
Gojo, you have a
Not even
serious life problem. How about we make you
Goju
literally,
fight some
between
demons?
between the two, the
literally.
movie and the show, he is by far my favorite character. That
Oh,
man
easily.
is a gem.
Yeah, Goju's the go. He don't even care about the console. He goes by his rules. He's by his rules.
Yeah, fuck the elders.
They get they got their little input, but whatever he says goes. Honestly, he's the dean. But the main character in this Utah, he was real good. I like how they dove deep into him and his background and the meanings of his curse and betraying how it it became it became a curse, but at the end it became
A blessing.
like yeah,
Yeah.
blessing for him in disguise. It was his lover from when they were kids. What was her name? Rika.
And I
She
think
fuck
Yeah.
that I'm sorry to interrupt. I think that's what set me apart from the movie and the series because that backstory between I I already forget the name of the curse and the girl that he fell in love with at a young age. But I think that backstory is what made this a strong narrative and a strong story overall because
No, 100%.
it did
oh yeah.
benefit like him having these powers because he was in love with this girl because they had that childhood bringing up together. It just made a lot more sense to me and it felt emotionally impactful. Sorry for interrupting, just had to throw that in
No,
No,
you're
man,
good.
that
You're
was
good.
perfect though. I thought that
Yeah.
that was like iconic part of this movie in general because the whole time he thought that she cursed him, and that's why she was there when in fact he cursed her.
Mm-hmm.
Like that
It
whole
reminded
unveil of it was just amazing. It was so well done, and you could just see the emotion behind it, like when he figures it out too.
Yeah, they were like blinded by love, but
Yep.
the love was blinded by the curse. And I like how he Goju gave him the sword to wield the curse to can more keep it under control.
Hmm.
'Cause, like they told him, if that curse get released one more time, it's gonna be some problems for everybody. Like people are gonna die. because he doesn't have it under full control. And Yuta grabs that over the time, doing those courses and teaming up when you split them up into team ups, like he did with Toge. Toge, man, Toge,
Oh,
yeah, that boy had that cough medicine, boy, had that mud on him. Had that mud on him, ready to strike. All with his voice, bro. All with his voice. That the fight scenes with him and Yuta against that one demon that wasn't
oh,
even
it was a
supposed to
perfect.
be there. It was sent by fucking Ghetto. Bitch ass. I hate Ghetto. He's just a slime at heart, bro. He was bomb. All he tried to
I
do
like
is
that we got to see more of him, as like opposed to in the show. He was already like established more. I was sitting there like, who is this man?
yeah, in the show, they're like building him up in the show, but in the movie, they got right to it with him. Like, this is the villain here.
Yeah,
he had he had all them demons in him from when he was eating them, was fucking absorbing all their power. Like he's just like I said, he's just a scum. He don't care what any means as long as he's powerful. He get his his little justice.
trash,
He get his
trash.
justice out. Like even when he pulled up on him at the school, Yuta wasn't even having it. He was like, "Bro, who is you? Who is you? Why is you talking shit about my teammates? Who is you? I don't fuck with you."
Man.
And Goju had to step in, like, yeah, if he ain't fucking with you, you ain't got him. You ain't taking him. he ain't yours for the liking. The fight,
No one's gonna step up against Gojo like that, though.
oh yeah, Gojo. Yeah. Once he take off that blindfold, it's over. It's over, boy.
And let me
Fuck.
also throw in like the supporting characters of Maki, who we saw in the series, with the cursed tools user.
Mm-hmm.
Toge, I love the cursed speech user. I think that part's one of the coolest parts of the series and the movie. I think that whole thing is just awesome. And you see like the damage it does to his
Oh
throat
yeah,
thing. And
Mm-hmm.
of course, probably
Panda.
my
Panda.
favorite besides Goju, Panda. I fucking love Panda, man.
We
Panda.
didn't get like any backstory on him in this though, which is funny. We got it all in the series. We didn't get any backstory. It was just, and this is Panda.
Well, I think
Uh,
also they took into account that most people were going to watch the series before the
Yeah.
movie. So you didn't need to know a ton of backstory on it. That's also the thing that I loved about this. They didn't spend a ton of time developing everybody's backstory. They jumped right into the action. There was
Mm-hmm.
not a ton of explanation. They trusted the audience to know this is this, this is this. Like in the series, one of my biggest gripes, which I know they explain in the series, is the over explanation of things like their powers, the backstory of everybody. Like it
That's what
felt like
that
it was on repetition a lot. However, in this, it's so straightforward and concise and focused. I am hard pressed to find another anime series or movie even that I like better than this movie. I think this movie is fucking great. Like I was shocked at how I felt after the series compared to how I felt after
hater.
this movie.
mhm.
Like this movie feels like everything I wanted the series to be itself, to where they're just going and they don't need to explain a whole lot. Like you need to be able to trust your audience, which I guess that's just the thing with anime shows. That's a problem with me, is the over explanation of things sometimes. So it's not necessarily a fault of the movie or the show, but more just my personal preferences. Like I can acknowledge that the show itself is probably great compared to most anime, but for my personal preference, I will definitely rewatch this movie way more than I'll ever rewatch the show.
Yeah. Like I said, I got this is my what third time, fourth time. Got the movie on background. I, I
Man
love
over
it.
there is
It
dedicated.
it was beautiful, bro. It was just so beautiful. Like
The ending is great. Like
Oh yeah.
how you say it's beautiful, like when all right, I got the names up now. So Utah is
He's got it
the
loaded.
guy is the main character, and Rika is the curse. I think that whole moment, well, everything between those two, honestly, Rika isn't saying any words but conveying emotion and stuff. And Yuta's playing off that. And I just think it's so beautifully done because you can tell how both of them are feeling about the whole situation throughout the entire movie and the different highs and lows of it. And to see that resolution where Yuta does realize he's the one that cursed Rika, but Rika doesn't hold it against him at the same time, and they both acknowledge and appreciate the extra time they got to spend together. I think that was really beautifully done.
Yeah, like I said, they were bonded by love from the start. The curse was just, blinding Yuta's eyes. Yeah, he had a whole negative perspective on it. Goju had to, push him, get him to wield that and show him that it was a blessing in disguise through that sword.
Give him the wisdom,
Once
show
once
him the way.
once he got that sword, once he got the hang of it, the curse with the sword, it was over for Ghetto, you know, which I don't think Ghetto's dead. But besides that, his slime ball self, the whole story was good from start to finish. They did the backstory good on the main character. They showed who they need to show, like the side supporting main characters. The villain was fucking phenomenal.
What
He
was the
fired
villain's name?
Ghetto.
Get him? I
Mm.
want to touch on that as well. I liked his motivation and everything. I think that he was a better villain than anything we had gotten in the first season of the Jujutsu show. Just
He
because,
was the villain in the first season of the show.
Yeah, he's just back. They
yeah,
just they
my
like they're
bad.
like building him up.
What are you talking about?
They're
I
just
think he
I
building.
was
don't
better
think you
portrayed.
watched it.
I think he was better portrayed in this one than he was in the show.
Yeah, in the
So
show
you
they're
didn't
building.
even watch the show now. I'm calling him out on it.
Oh my god,
I'm gonna fact check
building
you on every episode.
got it.
they're building him up in the show, because
I
he's
and I realize that, but in the movie, I feel like they were able to do it in such a short amount of time and so effectively compared to what they've done with the show. And I just really appreciated everything that was put into this between the characters, the story, the anim. Let's talk about the animation and the art because we haven't even touched on that, which is probably one of my favorite things between the show and the movie. The art is fucking phenomenal.
That's what I think.
cinematic.
This
Cinematic.
anime carries over other animes because of its art.
The art
Because
and
of its
the
art
action
and
is
its story, I
phenomenal when
will
it's
put
taking place.
it's just, like Doug said several times, it is just beautiful. While you're watching it, you're just in awe.
Yeah, bro. You feel
I'm
like
never in a dull moment when I turn it on. Even when I turn the series on, all the colors, just how everything is portrayed in it, it's perfect. And I know how, like you guys were saying, the like characters and everyone was done right, and all the stories they didn't like overlap. It was all just so well done. I didn't feel like they were doing the same thing that they did with the character in the series. Like they had to explain everybody's abilities all over again and go into the backstory on everyone. Like them not explaining Panda, I loved it because they already explained Panda in the series.
Which is
Mhm.
the main thing that I had a gripe with is I felt like they kept on explaining the same thing over and over in the series. But in this one, it felt like, all right, we had already explained it before. They don't need to have the explanation now. Like there were a few times where they did mention like what their powers did in the movie, but it wasn't overbearing. It wasn't overindulgent. It was a
No,
very
they didn't do
brief
a like
thing.
breakdown to make it more powerful.
Yeah.
There's
I feel
playing
like just
Toge.
the students do that more though. When it was like the
There's
student
playing
on student.
Toge and there's playing Toge a little bit more, which I like that. And his voice, cursed voice with Panda, talking to Yuta, you
That
know.
boy
Toge
Togo.
He was
might.
misunderstood. He was misunderstood. Toge was misunderstood. He portrayed as a bad guy, or he's not a bad guy, but he didn't like he didn't
Yeah.
like being he didn't like being friendly. He wasn't friendly, but he was actually He's actually concerned about Yuta when they're battling a demon. He even told you to stay here. I'll handle this type of deal.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like Toge was a really great supporting character. I know I said that Panda was my second favorite or whatever behind Gojo, but in terms of like interesting
Oh,
actual
sorry, it's fine.
characters and like backstory and everything, Toge is definitely up there for like debate with one of my favorite characters, if not my favorite, just because his powers, his backstory, everything about him is very interesting to me, and I'd like to learn a lot more about cursed speech users and dive more into that side of the jujitsu sorcerers.
I like that you saw that Yuta had the drink and he was able to use cursed speech for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
I thought
Mm-hmm.
that was really well done. So even non-cursed speech users have an ability to use cursed speech, but it's only for a second.
Yep.
Like
Yeah.
it's such a but you would have to carry around like multiple vials, I guess, if you wanted to keep using it. Almost like that one guy did in the show with like the blood.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
no, I think Toga's story was just so clean this whole time.
Man. I'm
I had
mad.
a clear understanding of what it was. I do want to see what his clan is more, like, and how it started. Like, where you said you wanted to learn more about the cursed speech users. Like, is it his whole clan is a cursed speech user? Or is he like one person from the clan, like, every so often passed down being able to be a cursed speech user? That's one of the things I am curious about.
I think he's the last of his clan.
Is he?
I think so. I
Yeah.
think he the last of his clan for sure on some Sasuke shit. Sasuke and Itachi.
So, do
But
we want to get into our final thoughts on this one? It looks like our time is running out.
Oh yeah.
yeah. Yeah, we can get into final thoughts.
I'll go with
Uh
mine first, just because I know you guys have some very strong opinions on both things. But I'm gonna have two separate rankings on this one. It's gonna be weird. One, the first one is as a movie. I'm gonna go A minus. I really enjoyed this. I found, for my personal taste, that there are other movies that are a little bit better put together. But then, as an anime movie or any kind of anime, I'm gonna have to go an A plus. This is one of the best pieces of anime I've watched. I enjoyed it wholeheartedly. I haven't been that intrigued and drawn in by an anime like I was with this one. So I had to throw in an A plus in some way, shape, or form. So this is going to be my way of doing that. It excelled in everything: the action, the art, the characters, the story. It delivered on everything. Just compared to other movies that I've seen, it hasn't done as well in that regard. But like as an anime, I couldn't have asked for anything more, in my personal opinion. In my personal opinion, I understand that people are going to be saying, "Whoa, it is a movie." Yes, it is. But for my personal taste, I will say an A minus in terms of a movie, but an A plus in terms of an anime movie or show.
you know, understandable. Understandable.
That's
Uh
very fair. It's
you
very fair.
already know mine. It's an A plus. Plus plus. Like I said, they delivered on all aspects. It wasn't, it wasn't too complex. It was a what hour and 45 minute movie. They served their justice. They got their point across. Every character that they needed to have in it, they had. I'm mad they downplayed it Toto a little bit. They just
They
they gave
only
him
like briefly showed him.
Yeah.
yeah, they gave us a little glimpse of him, but Toto, that boy, he was itching to jump in that fight. He was itching to jump in that fight,
I
boy.
was waiting for the clap.
They was like, nah, Toto, this ain't you. This ain't your broad fight, man. Stay back, sit back tight. You got another one coming for you. But yeah, the whole dialogue was phenomenal. The backstory on the main character Yuta and his lover Kurtz. Uh,
Yeah.
fucking was it was good. It was real good. Like they explained every single thing that drawed her to becoming a curse
Mm-hmm.
and the reasons of him actually being able to lift that curse. So yeah, that's my review on it. That's my grade.
It's an A for me, bro. I love this shit. When I was waiting for it and waiting for it to watch it, Jordy ended up beating me to it, sadly. But you know what? I have more respect for the show than he does, and I got more respect for the movie than he does.
At least I gave it an A plus in some way, shape, or form. You didn't.
Listen, for an anime, it's always going to be an A plus for sure. And movie as a whole, I got to rate it against other movies in the genre. It still is at an A, just because of the art in it, bro. It's too clean.
Yeah, I 110% agree. Like anything that you guys say about the movie positively, I will agree with. I have little to no gripes with it.
Yeah. So I
So
guess that's ours. That's our rating on it, right?
yeah, as
Definitely
per
watch
usual.
Jujutsu Kaisen Zero.
Like, subscribe, support the corp, leave some comments, let us know what you think.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
they about covered it. If there's any other anime movies or shows you want us to review, let us know. We
We
can
want to hear about them. You know, Toke wants to hear about them.
we
He's
might
just
be starting a
twitching to do an anime
Malcolm's anime
series.
corner here soon, where he just talks about anime shows or movies. So any recommendations you have for him, drop them below. Me and Eric will probably hop on them in some way, shape, or form. Just let us
Yeah.
know. We're willing to review damn near anything. Still getting to our Bahubali ones eventually.
Man, that's so
We need
disrespectful.
to
We haven't
get
seen
to that,
that yet.
considering we have gone almost 2 months after saying that we will review that. I am sorry for the delay on that. There has been so much dropping recently, and we only
Yeah,
have
he had
so
to
much
watch this
through.
damn Marcel the Shell movie. I swear to God.
But again, like and subscribe. This is the Critic Corp, and goodbye.